Hi, everyone. Good morning. Welcome. This is Dr. Jennifer Levin from Grief to Growth. I'm here today with a Facebook Live. Thank you, everyone who is watching, and thank you to everyone who watches the replay. I'm here to help individuals like you who are living with a sudden loss move from pain towards healing. Life after a sudden loss can be so traumatic, chaotic, full of lots of unexpected events. And that's why today we are talking about self care. Self care is so important after a sudden and traumatic loss. Self care, excuse me, is important on any day. But after a traumatic loss, a sudden loss, it is just vital to your essential. It is so important, and it's the only way that you are going to get through this. The experience of losing a loved one unexpectedly just just turns your life upside down and inside out, to the point where you might even feel like you can't function. And so being able to get through the day is going to be reliant on your self-care. And your self-care needs are going to change so much over the time. In the beginning, it's going to be hard just to function and to cope with day to day tasks. And as you get further along, your self care needs are going to change as well. So it doesn't matter where you are in the process. We're going to talk about self care in general, and I'm going to ask you some questions to help you evaluate where you are. So let's just talk for a moment about self care in general and what is it and why is it important? So, self care is any action or behavior that you rely on or you engage in, I should say, consistently. And that's the key word here, consistently on a regular basis to care for yourself, to maintain wellness, balance, and reduce stress in your life. And so we all take, time where we take an hour out of our life or an hour out of our day or our week, to take a time out. And that's wonderful. That might be going out with friends, getting a massage. Great. And that's going to help. But really, a solid self care plan is going to be a routine or a way of life. And that's how you're going to get the benefit. And self care, as I said, is so essential. And when you are grieving, a solid self care practice is going to provide you the space that you need to take care of your needs. It is so essential to allow you to refuel, excuse me, to refuel, to re, to rest, and to recharge because grief is so demanding. It wipes us out, and traumatic grief, especially, it just drains us of everything that we have. And self care is going to give you the time out, and the ability to take care of yourself, to replenish, and to distract yourself from the intensity of the pain that you are experiencing that is so intense, and you need to replenish and to refuel yourself to be able to get through what it is you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And as you know, you don't experience grief in a bubble. Not only are you experiencing the emotional pain, many of you are experiencing trauma symptoms, but the majority of you are also responsible for meeting the needs of others, whether it be a spouse, the kids, um, other dependents that you are taking care of. And so, if you're not taking care of your needs as well, you're not going to be able to get through this. And so you have diverse set of needs when it comes to yourself, and our self-care has to meet all of those needs. So we have physical needs, we have emotional needs, we have spiritual or religious needs, we have intellectual needs, and now we have grief needs. And so our self-care has to be multifaceted, and it has to meet all of those needs at once. And so self care has to, I'm going to give you an example of how you meet, or some examples of what you do to meet all of those needs. But self care isn't always pretty. It's not necessarily Sitting by the pool, it's not necessarily the manicure, the pedicure, and the massage. And if you can incorporate into that, into your routine, that's fantastic. But it's not necessarily the luxuries that we think of. Many times it's actually saying no. It's setting limits. It's saying, it's putting up boundaries. It's protecting yourself. It's protecting your energy. It's protecting your space. It's avoiding interactions that are draining for you or that you just don't have the energy to engage in. Sometimes self care is giving yourself the gentle push to do things that you don't want to do. Maybe it's telling yourself you have to get out of bed in the morning. Maybe it's engaging in a social activity that you don't want to do. It's developing a routine of, maybe getting up and walking. It's going to the dentist. It's going to the doctor. It's eating healthy and nutritious foods. It's getting a lot of sleep. And so, a lot of times, we don't engage in the self care that we really, really need because it takes a lot of work. And remember, when I gave you that definition in the beginning, I talked about it's things that we regularly engage in on a day to day basis. And so, self care, regular self care, the type you need when you're grieving, unfortunately can take some planning and commitment. But I need you to trust me here. It's what's going to get you through this. And so let's talk about, or let's take a minute and reflect for a minute. What type of self care do you really need right now? And think about those dimensions that I just asked you. Physically, what do you need to do to take care of yourself? Are you getting the exercise that you need? Are you moving your body? You don't need to go out and run a marathon. You don't need to walk 10 miles. Are you getting your physical checkups? Have you been to the doctor? Are you eating healthy? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you caring for your physical self? Psychologically and emotionally. Are you talking about what's going on? Are you seeing a therapist? Are you talking to friends? Okay. Are you writing or journaling? You don't have to talk to people if that's not comfortable for you. But are you processing your emotions? You've got to be taking care of your psychological self and your emotions. Spiritually or religiously, are you meeting those needs? What about intellectually? Are you challenging yourself, or even challenging isn't right the word right now? Some people will go through and give it, well, I'll give you the examples right now. Sometimes people do crossword puzzles or even jigsaw puzzles or Sudoku or things like that to keep your mind going. Even watching something good on TV, reading a book might be really hard right now, but keeping your mind going, these can be great distractions when you're really struggling for grief. And I know that concentration can be really hard. Grief self care. This is really, really hard, but important. Are you tending to your grief needs right now? So think about, what are your self care needs right now? What would be restorative for you? What would fill up that emotional bank account? I'm sure that part of you, if not all of you, is feeling really, really drained. And think about those things I said in the beginning: saying no, setting boundaries, avoiding emotional, challenging interactions. Are you spread too thin? Those types of things, and setting those limits, those are really, really important in allowing yourself to refuel, rest, recharge. What would be good distractions for yourself right now? We can't be in pain 24/7 if the grief is too much. Okay? So, engaging in the self care or engaging in good distraction activities to take your mind away from things, that's a good way to take care of your grief right now. So, self care, this is why I came on today, is I just wanted you to check in with yourself and your self care needs. Again, I can't stress how important self care is for yourself, for your grief, for your loved ones right now. You've got to take care of yourself. Put that oxygen mask on so that you can take care of others. Traumatic grief, a sudden loss, it's just knocked you sideways, upside down, and backwards. And hopefully, you've landed upside down and then back on your feet again. It's going to get easier, but taking care of yourself, even though it's really challenging, is the way to put one foot in front of your other. Okay? This is Dr. Jennifer Levin from Grief to Growth. I encourage you, go to my website, www.fromgrieftogrowth.com. Sign up for my mini course, free mini course, How to Live, or the three truths about living with a sudden loss. Also, next Wednesday, I'll have my next podcast on living with uncertainty and unanswered questions. Take care and bye for now.